Welcome back. We're here finally. This is Direct Edition. I took a break because unfortunately my dad passed away. I needed some time off, but we're back. Next week we'll be getting into our regular format of comic book reviews, but we thought for our first issue for a little while we'd give you a chance to meet the Direct Edition team. That's what's coming next. Alright, so the first member of the team you need to meet is Dave the Masked Masters. He writes all of the blog posts that you'll find on our blog, directedition.wordpress.com. All of that is down to Dave. He's kind of an integral part of the team. And you know what? Dave, how did you get into comics?
Basically, I was a friend of a friend's house, and he just had a stack of comics on the floor that he was getting rid of. Yeah. So I said, "What's that?" I was about 5, but I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Well, they're comics, you can't touch them." But then his big brother came in, turns out they were actually his. He said, "No, have a look." Found Daredevil 187, and here I am. So that's how I got into comics. Been just an obsession ever since, and there you go. Alright,
so it's Daredevil's kind of your main thing. What else are you kind of collecting?
I mean, Daredevil's my main thing. I've mentioned on the blog before, as I'm sure the readers will know, that I've got pretty much a complete collection of Daredevil issues. I like to mention that because I like to brag about it. I've Deadpool, not so much recently because Marvel are pissing him down the toilet, but I love Scalped by Jason Aaron. I think everyone should read that. Invincible, anything by Robert Kirkman, Joe Sacco, Alan Moore, obviously, a lot of independent stuff, but just anything that's a great story that I can get my teeth into, that's what I'm about. Yeah.
Alright, so listen man, so in terms of the blog, what sort of plans have you got for what we can expect to look for and see on the blog?
Well, if I can get the courage up to do it, I'm going to try and get a From Hell review up. That's a big ask, because I respect that novel a bit too much to review it. But I've got an interview with Christos Gage coming up, which is really, really interesting. He's going to get back to me about that. But he's a busy man. He's working hard on Avengers Academy, which you should all be reading. If you're not, then you should. Besides that, always just, you know, articles and stuff. Got some, hopefully a guest article by Starks coming up, if you remember him from my first appearance. So there's always just articles and stuff for people to join in on. Always leave a comment, stuff like that, unless, you know, you like Jubilee, in which case don't say anything, because but yeah, anyone's welcome to come along. It's excellent. I love writing on there. Thanks to Iyare for inviting me to be part of the team.
Alright, so that is pretty much Dave Masked Masters. He is a major and integral part of the Direct Edition team, and if you want to catch up with his writing and see him, you know, get him on the show as often as you can manage.
Absolutely.
You know, when he can fit it in, he'll come in and do some regular comic book reviews. Make sure that you kind of check what he's writing on the blog all of the time and keep up with all of that. So the next member of the Direct Edition team that you've got to meet is our mysterious camera lady, Tanya, who never wants to be on camera, but may answer a few questions if we ask nicely. Like, okay, so Tanya, do you like Marvel comics? You live like DC, maybe? Okay, yes, she likes DC, but but mostly you like independent stuff, right? Yeah. She likes so she likes independent comics most. She also makes a lot of films, right? Yeah, but like she doesn't really like mainstream movies. That's like she's not really into mainstream movies. What else can we tell you about Tanya?
She skateboards and wears a lot of awesome Batman shirts.
Yeah, so well, no, you say she skateboards. She's a longboarder.
Oh, longboarder.
Yeah, longboarder. So it's not the same as skateboarding.
She's giving me a look.
It's very important to understand that it's not the same. Skateboarding is different from longboarding. You know. Right. Yeah, no, apparently it is. Honestly. All right. So and like Tanya, hopefully, will also be contributing to the blog and letting us know her thoughts on some comic books and graphic novels and other things that she thinks we might want to be hearing about. That's right, yeah? There you go, there's like, cool. A little nod from Tanya. So like, that, you know, you'll never get to see her.
She has to do a Wizard of Oz thing.
She's like our very own Stig or something, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know, she's got like a secret identity type of thing going on, but like, she's an important part of the team, and you need to know about Tanya if you're going to be involved in Direct Edition. Okay, so by way of a little introduction to myself, I'm Iyare, direct edition. I kind of started it off, and it's one of those field of dreams thing. If you build it, they will come. The master's gotten involved, and the very mysterious Tanya is involved. We've got a lot of support and help from the guys here at A Place in Space. Got a big up Alex, got a big up Steve and Alison as well, without whom we couldn't do the show. Also a massive shout out to our friends at Urban Species, who always hook me up with the fly t-shirts as well. I got into comics mostly from the old school British stuff like the Whizzer and Chips and Beezer and Beano and all of that when I was a very little kid. Moved on to like things like Judge Dredd, 2000 AD, Judge Dredd magazine, all of those sorts of things, and then eventually made my way to the American comics. Batman was the first thing that really kind of sucked me into those sorts of things. Things that I always keep up with these days are things like Amazing Spider-Man, Iron Man, all the Robert Kirkman stuff, definitely. Love the Alan Moore stuff, love things like Wolverine, X-Men. I'm real kind of a Marvel head, but I kind of check out a lot of DC stuff, like I love Wonder Woman and Spider-Man, Superman at the moment as well. So those are the sorts of things that I'm into personally, and then the rest of the time when I'm not making direct edition, I'm following the Arsenal, which is a big kind of thing for me, and the Mast. You know what I mean? You can't be from North London and not follow the Arsenal, unless of course you're a Spurs fan, in which case not a big fan of you. But you know what I mean? But you're more than welcome to subscribe. Do you know what I mean? Keep watching, even if you're a Spurs fan. And also, you know, I make a lot of media stuff, so music videos, do a lot of film teaching and things like that, and you know, all sorts of kind of presenting things and media kind of assassination type work generally. So you can check out all of that stuff, you know, and we do links to bits and pieces and amongst all that stuff. So that's pretty much everybody in the immediate direct edition team. You've got to make sure that you follow the show. There's lots of ways to do it. Obviously, if you're watching this, then you're probably checking us out via YouTube. If you want to follow us on a regular basis in between shows, then Twitter is the way to do it. But bam, follow us on Twitter. Also, got to check out the blog. The blog is major. Lots and lots of good work being done there by the Mast himself. Lots of great articles for you to check out. And if you really want to get involved with what we're doing and you like what we're doing, then you've got to go to our Facebook fan page and get involved in that. That you can find right here. So we'll be back next week when we'll be looking at more new comic books and getting back to our regular format. The question between now and then is, I haven't been seeing comic books for like 6-7 weeks of the last, you know, couple of months. I haven't seen anything. So what do I need to catch up with? Okay, apart from Avengers Academy, what else do I need to catch up with? What are the things that you're highly recommending? What have you been enjoying while we've been away? We'll be back next week with more info on new comic book releases. Leave us a comment. Subscribe, that's really, really important, and spread the word. We'll be back, more new comics next week. Until then, peace.